Welcome. This is Lily Chu with the Better Business Bureau Education Foundation. Our mission is to blow the whistle on scammers. If you want to check out a business or charity, come to us. Our reports are trustworthy, unlike many of those glowing online reviews, which are often paid for by the seller. We maintain strict business standards to ensure you get honest and reliable reports. You can call us or go online to bbb.org to look up companies locally and across the country. We've also created a military website just for the armed forces because, believe it or not, there's scammers out there that are targeting our soldiers. And I've uploaded handouts for you at BBBEF WordPress. Just click on resources and you'll see information on car buying, paying for college, establishing credit, and much more. You're always welcome to contact me. If you have any questions or concerns, I'm a social worker and I like helping people. It's free and you won't have to cough up your social security number or any other personal information. When in doubt, check it out. Who can resist a face like this? With more people working from home, many have turned to the internet to look for a pet to ease their isolation and brighten their lives. Unfortunately, scammers are using the pandemic as a convenient cover for fraud. It has given them legitimate reasons to ask for upfront money or explain why the pet cannot be seen in person before heartbroken would-be pet owners figure out they have been conned. New data from BBB Scam Tracker shows puppy scams have spiked since COVID-19 took hold in the U.S., with more reports about fraudulent pet websites in April than in the first 3 months of 2020 combined. Incredibly, experts believe that at least 80% of the sponsored advertising links which appear in an internet search for pets may be fraudulent. In fact, it can be difficult to navigate an online search for a pet without coming across a bogus website. What's the bait? Some scammers offer free pets, while others offer animals for sale at deeply discounted prices. The scams typically begin with a fake website and stolen photos, often taken from a legitimate site. And because the scammers don't need to have actual pets available, it's a simple matter to advertise breeds that are most popular and often hardest to obtain. Today, many of the complaints involve Yorkshire Terriers, also known as Yorkies, and French Bulldogs. One ad featured a photograph of a cute teacup Yorkie. An internet search for this picture found the same puppy advertised for sale in Florida, Texas, New York, England, and even Hungary. Where's the hook? In nearly every fraud case, the thieves say your new best friend must be shipped from a remote location, so you won't get to see the pet in person before forking over some cash. There were several instances where the consumer was told in-person visits weren't possible due to the COVID-19 restrictions. They'll ask you to contact a bogus third-party shipper who they've made up that will take over the responsibility for transporting your new furry friend. Of course, you'll need to buy or rent a special crate, and if you pony up for that, they may follow up with requests for special insurance, travel documents, or shots for the animal. Then, they may claim your new furry friend got stuck at the airport in transit, and more money is needed for accommodation, food, and water. The request for money will go on as long as you continue to send it. Eventually, you get that queasy feeling in your stomach and go online to do some research. That's when you realize you've been conned. At this point, the thief usually claims your furry friend is already at the airport and threatens you with criminal charges for animal abandonment unless you send them more money. The truth is, according to the Humane Society, while there actually is a criminal charge for animal abandonment, it would never be enforced in this situation, especially since no animal was ever shipped. Rules for shipping pets are established by the International Air Transport Association. No one can just drop off an animal at the airport to be transported the next day. Also in the U.S., the sender has to provide a veterinarian check and have health papers for the animal. Some scammers may require purchasing a fan for the pet if it's going to be a hot weather destination. Know that airlines will not allow transportation of a pet if the weather is dangerously hot. So who's getting scammed and how much are they losing? Pretty much anyone is a potential victim. But the Federal Trade Commission found most victims are in their 20s and 30s. These age groups grew up with the internet and may be more likely to look for a pet online instead of going to a local breeder or searching in other ways. Not surprisingly, the most heavily populated states had the most complaints, led by California and Texas. As far as losses go, the FTC and BBB have found most victims lose between $100 and $1,000, but some have lost considerably more. In one case, a victim lost $5,000. And scammers almost always ask to send money through untraceable means, such as Zelle, Cash App, prepaid cards like Green Dot, iTunes, or other gift cards, and even good old Western Union or MoneyGram. Thieves almost never take money from credit cards or by personal checks. Here in Houston, Victor G. ordered a puppy, and the seller said the puppy would arrive in one day. But before this flight, he was told the puppy needed traveling papers for a fee of $850. However, $800 of it would be refunded. Then apparently his vicious 10-week-old puppy bit someone, and another fee of $650 was needed, but $600 of that would be refunded. Next, the puppy wouldn't stop barking, so they needed a fee of $350, but guess what? Yep, $300 would be refunded. They told him all of his refunds would be returned upon the puppy's safe arrival and pickup at the airport. In total, he lost $3,200. Before you commit to buying a pet online, hit the pause button and slow it down. First, research prices for the breed you're interested in adopting. If someone is advertising a purebred dog for free or at a deeply discounted price, you could be dealing with a scam. Be extra wary if they require additional payments for vaccinations or shipping. Do an internet search of the picture of the pet you're considering. If the same picture appears on multiple websites, you may be dealing with fraud. You can also search the text from ads or testimonials to see if the seller copied it from another site. The simple truth is that the best way to avoid a fraud is to inspect the pet yourself by arranging to meet with the prospective seller in person. Most legitimate breeders will welcome the visit. There's no good way to be sure you're not dealing with a scammer if you have no direct in-person contact with the seller. Always use a credit card in case you need to dispute the charges. However, some fraudsters may claim to accept credit cards, but instead steal your credit card information to use in other scams or inform you your payment didn't go through and request the payment via Cash App, wire service, or gift cards. Then they've got both your credit card information and the cash. Do not send money through apps like Zelle or Cash App because you have pretty much no protection if you initiate the transaction. And don't send payments by prepaid or gift cards or Western Union and MoneyGram. These payment methods also offer no recourse to get your money back if you are the victim of fraud. Consider reaching out to a local animal shelter, especially during this time of quarantine. Many shelters are looking for fosters to help relieve the animals' stress and reduce overcrowding at their facilities. You can also contact the Humane Society of the United States, which can refer you to local shelters, and they have tips for finding reputable breeders. What should you do if you did get scammed? If you used a Cash App, you can try to immediately cancel the transaction or contact your bank, but good luck with that. If you sent money through Western Union, MoneyGram, or a Green Dot Money Pack, you should contact those companies directly. They can offer information about the transactions and download their complaints into the FTC's Consumer Sentinel database, which is used by police around the country. Again, though, you probably won't be getting that cash back. You can also report scams to BBB Scam Tracker, the Federal Trade Commission, and PetScams.com, which catalogs puppy scammers tracks complaints, and tries to get fraudulent websites taken down. But easiest and best is to check around your local community. There are many unwanted animals in shelters who want and need forever homes.